morning, brethren. Today is October 5. Matthew chapter 6 from verse 5. And when you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray, standing in the synagogues and on the corners of the street, that they may be seen by men. Assuredly I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you pray, go into your room, and when you have shut your door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place, and your Father who sees in secret will reward you openly. And when you pray, do not use vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they will be heard for their many words. Prayer is a privilege of the new birth and expected of a follower of Jesus Christ, but not as an obligation. 3 times in the passage we read, Jesus said, when you pray. He didn't say, if you pray. Note then that it is expected of us as children of God to seek Him in the place of prayer. Jesus even gave a model for prayer by teaching what is known as the Lord's Prayer to His disciples. And in Luke 8:1, He said, men ought always to pray and not to faint. In our relationships with people, we all know very well that we maintain friendships through communication. Through regular interactions, we bond with our friends and look forward to hanging out with them for our pleasure. In John 15:13-15, Jesus called us friends 3 times. If He is our friend, it then doesn't make sense not to relate with Him like we do our human friends. Prayer is a place of exchange, a place of transformation. 1 Corinthians 15:33 says, just as evil company affects good habits, then we can infer that keeping company with the Trinity brings transformation of eternal value and glory into a believer's life. When you stand in the presence of God's holiness, you exchange your filthiness for His holiness. Read Isaiah 6:1-7. Isaiah was purged because in the presence of God's holiness, he saw how filthy he was. You exchange your weakness for God's strength. 2 Corinthians 12:8-9, Luke 22:41-43. You exchange your inadequacy for God's sufficiency, like Moses. Your guilt for justification, shame for glory. Search the Bible and see for yourself that nobody who stays in communion with God remains the same. Jesus was always in communion with the Father when He was on earth. He is our ultimate example. He maintained unity with the Father through prayers. If Jesus prayed and is still making intercession for the saints, it therefore makes no sense for a believer not to pray. God bless you. You will hear from us again tomorrow.